What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Today, we're going to be exposing the demonic realm part 2. Everything that's in Hollywood, everything that's, on social media and stuff like that. We're going to be exposing all of those things. And basically today, we got a little weird video, they're Among Us type of video. So y'all stay tuned for the whole video. If you haven't watched the last video, make sure you go back and watch that one too. That's a good one as well. And let's get straight into the video. Without further ado, let's do it.
This movie proposes a terrifying question. What if the elites who run the world aren't even from this world? What if they're beings from another planet or dimension who secretly infiltrated Earth, took over all positions of power, and enslaved the masses? The people with the most power, not even people at all? Does Begonia tell us exactly who is secretly
I haven't seen
the
this
world?
movie, y'all, so
By the end of this
is
video,
news to me.
You're going to be left questioning everything.
I don't react to
In
the
Begonia,
videos after I watch them. I watch
a
them.
powerful CEO from the front of her $1 million home. They take her back to their house where they stash
Lotion her up is
when she wakes up,
crazy.
they immediately grill her and demand she reveals what she really is. They believe this powerful CEO isn't what she claims to be.
They cut her
While
hair.
she looks and acts human, they strongly think she is something
They're
else
Among
entirely.
Us.
In their minds, an alien race secretly infiltrated the planet and took over all positions of power. With their advanced technology, they built modern society and firmly planted themselves as rulers.
So I want to say this, and this is my well thought out opinion, I should say, on the alien things and stuff like that. I feel like the aliens originally, all these religions and different places that talk about the aliens and stuff like that. Not even just religious, but there's been like throughout history, like the Sumerians and stuff like that. They were right about certain beings. I think they're just fallen angels, right? I don't think they're actually aliens. I mean, you could still say they're aliens technically, but I think they're just the fallen angels. Like, and then when you're talking about something like this, it just ties into that. I think it's from those bloodlines, and that's my opinion.
These two guys think this powerful pharma CEO is secretly one of these aliens in disguise. She denies it and pleads to be released. But
She
they
looked
don't
like an
buy it.
alien.
They spend the next few days doing everything to force a confession out of her. At one point, they even strap her to an electrotherapy machine.
Oh my
For the
gosh.
majority of the runtime, you're forced to think these are just two delusional nutjobs who have completely lost it. The movie actually works so hard to deliberately depict this. They want you to instantly
good,
see the two
writing.
guys as crazy and the CEO as an innocent victim. They are showing you how the system works right out the gate. You're trained to see anyone who questions the narrative as crazy or even dangerous.
That's a fact.
This is exactly what the media does every single day with the news. They paint anyone who questions the official story as insane, ridiculous individuals, even when they're asking questions that everyone wants the answers for. Their labels are really just a silencing method, a way to convince the general population to automatically resist any story that isn't their official story. If you believe their lies, then you're a perfectly sane individual. But if you question that official story, you're a dangerous nutjob. In the movie, they lean into this negative stereotype from the beginning. The two guys look.
Yo, I want to say this before he keeps getting into the video though. And I want to say this about aliens and stuff like that since we're on this kind of topic. Yo, ask yourself this, right? They've been hiding aliens for years, bro. Since I was a kid, there was always speculation, conspiracies and stuff like that, right? That aliens existed, these otherworldly beings and stuff like that, which I believe are the fallen angels, right? But ask yourself the questions, why are they now just showing these things? What is making it to they could say, oh yeah, let's put it out there. Yeah, there's UFOs. There's unidentified flying objects. We don't know what they are. They might be aliens. They might not be aliens, right? But why are they now just putting it out there? In my opinion, what they're doing by doing, like trying to put this out there, they're trying to get you to grow accustomed. Even with AI, bro, you see it with AI and all that stuff. They're trying to get you to grow accustomed to those things, right? So that when it does take place and something supernatural type happens, right? Something crazy on a different level happens, they can just be like, we prepared y'all for that. So it's almost like you're brainwashed. You won't even believe it, right? Because it's so thrown in your face. You're like, oh, it can't be true. You know what I mean? That's got to be some type of man-made event, but it's going to further take you away from Christ. In my opinion, that's the goal, is for them to, when something Christian-like happens because of all the signs and stuff in the prophecy in the Bible, when it happens, they're going to be so programmed showing you these things, or you're going to be so programmed from them showing you these things that it's going to take away from what Christ is doing. That's my opinion. What Christ is trying to do. Nothing can stop Christ, but yeah.
Like typical basement dwellers who the media has made the stereotypical archetype for conspiracy theorists. The things these two guys do to her make
I'm gonna let it play out, y'all. I just had to say that.
for her and almost immediately convinces you they have lost their mind. Here are these two delusional men literally keeping the
I might have to watch
innocent
this movie,
CEO
no doubt.
captive. A successful woman who did nothing to these guys. But was she really the innocent woman we are led to believe? While she looks like a normal everyday person, we all know looks could be deceiving.
It's a good
Once
casting.
you look past
She like
what the
an
movie
alien.
wants you to think, it starts dropping hints that these two guys might actually be right. Before they even take her, look at how the movie shows the CEO. Pay attention to the opening scenes in her massive
What's wrong with
corporate
that?
office
She's just
and her
working out.
huge house. The places are completely empty of life. There are no pictures of family or any signs people actually live
I
there.
see.
Also, when she's captured, her reaction seemed off. A normal person who just got kidnapped and strapped to a machine would completely lose their mind. She stays incredibly calm. When she begs for them to let her go, it doesn't feel believable. It sounds like she could in fact be hiding something. Even the way they film her makes you doubt her. Whenever the guys question her, the camera stares into her eyes just a little too long. The movie practically begs you to notice how weirdly she's acting.
Reptiles.
There's a scene where the CEO admits
Eyes.
to being an alien, but they make it seem like she only admits it so they would hopefully let her go. Even after she admits it, you're forced to wonder if she's only saying what they want to hear. This scene could be seen as a perfect example of how they hide the truth in plain sight. While she admits to being an alien,
What did I just say?
everyone automatically
Did I not just say that, y'all?
assumes she is only doing it for her survival. When elites openly expose themselves in the real world, people
just
brush it
said
off
this.
as just a joke. This is exactly how they condition the masses to defend the system.
This
For
is
the
what I was talking
entirety
about.
of the film, you're left at the edge of your seat, wondering if she will escape these lunatics or if she's actually an alien. But the twist at the end of the movie reflects reality perfectly. More often than not nowadays,
that was?
those labeled crazy liars are the ones telling the truth. Spoiler alert, it turns out the woman was in fact an alien, and her alien
Oh,
buddies
shoot.
did infiltrate the planet and enslave the human race. In
Hmm.
fact, the movie ends with the aliens destroying Earth. This movie accurately shows us the system and how it works, whether you believe in aliens or not.
Kinda
The
creepy, bro.
system this movie is depicting perfectly mirrors reality. It shows us how it is designed to silence those who ask questions and condition the rest to comply no matter what. Everyone knows the leaders are shady, but the media does everything in its power to protect the most powerful people in the world. When some people ask questions about the lies and shady things they're doing, even if it is true, the media immediately shuts it down and reestablishes trust in the system. But like we learned this year, some elites were in fact not who they seem to be.
Yeah, you
This
know.
movie is telling us exactly how the system operates and keeps you stuck inside of it. Now I want to get even deeper into what this movie is actually about. This story of the elites actually being a race of aliens is not a new one. You have likely heard it across many books and other forms of media. But what
Actually,
most people
you hear it
don't
all the
know
time.
is that this story was not made up by ufologists. It actually traces back to biblical stories, which I will explain in a bit. Hollywood has been telling us the same story over and over again. In American Horror Story Season 10, they actually tell us a very
Oh, yeah.
similar
I
story.
love that show.
In that season, we discover the government secretly made a deal with beings from another planet. The deal was quite similar to what we see in Begonia. The aliens will share their advanced technology with
What the
humanity
heck?
and help them usher in a modern advanced world. But in return, the government permits the aliens
Bro, I'm literally telling y'all, and there's a reason I keep pausing this, bro. The Sumerians talk about this, bro. I don't believe necessarily what the Sumerians are saying is like factual. I can't use that as facts, right? You know, mythology, whatever. Anyway, what the Sumerians say is that these race of ancient, you know, advanced beings came down and taught them things, right? They taught them things, but in turn for something, right? They had to like, you know, trade something and stuff like that. But this is exactly what this is. This is what the Bible literally kind of talks about in a way, right? It actually goes more into the book of Enoch than anything. But if you ever read the book of Enoch, you know, at your own risk, read that, right? But basically like the fallen angels coming down and teaching something, right? But everything we have to understand in life, everything is an exchange, it's a covenant, right? We come into covenant with things that we do, right? So, or people that we come into contact with, or things that we come into contact with, quote unquote. But everything's a covenant. You have to exchange something. Like think about it when you go to Christ, right? You exchange your wicked ways for, you know, a life of salvation. And even when you're in Christ, right, you have to exchange something daily. When your flesh dies daily, you exchange something, right? You have to give yourself to Christ. You have to constantly, like, even what the Bible says, enter his gate with thanksgiving. That's an exchange.
to abduct exactly 5,000 American citizens every single year.
Excuse
the
me?
aliens use these abducted
go back
humans
closer
for
in.
medical experiments to breed a alien-human hybrid species. The government agrees to keep the operation top secret, providing Area 51 as a secure base. This is the same story we essentially see in Begonia. In both the film and the show,
They're
they
called
paint the
moonchilds,
aliens
y'all.
as the secret builders of our modern world. With all our advanced technology coming directly from knowledge they gave us, is the idea of those in power working with them really still unbelievable? Is it possible the elite are secretly collaborating with aliens? Or even worse, are they actually aliens themselves, just like we see in Begonia? While most people think this idea comes from ancient aliens or Anunnaki lore, the reality is this same
Anunnaki, that's
story
the
could be
Sumerians.
traced to biblical stories.
That's where
Earlier,
it
I
comes
mentioned
from.
that this whole concept goes all the way back to biblical times. When you look closely at the ancient texts, specifically the Book of Enoch, you find the story of the Watchers. According to the ancient texts, these beings were originally divine messengers. Their specific assignment was simply to watch over humanity. They were ordered to observe us from above and guide us from a distance. But eventually they gave in to temptation. As they watched human women, they became completely infatuated with them. A group of these Watchers decided to break the ultimate divine law. The Watchers made a pact to abandon their heavenly post, come down to earth, and take human wives behind God's back. When they arrived,
Genesis
they
6,
gave
I think,
humans
if y'all want to
forbidden
in the
knowledge.
Bible.
They taught them how to make weapons of war,
Genesis
how to work
6,
with metals,
if I'm not
and the
mistaken.
secret of sorcery. By laying with human women, they corrupted the natural order and reproduced. Their offsprings were called the Nephilim. These were massive, violent hybrids who consumed all the resources on Earth and turned the world into a place of complete chaos and bloodshed. This total corruption did not go unnoticed. When God saw what the Watchers had done to his creation, he punished them. He ordered the archangels to bind the Watchers in chains and imprison them in darkness deep within the earth, where they would wait for the final day of judgment. To deal with the Nephilim and the corrupted world they created, God sent the Great Flood to wipe the slate clean. Now look at the exact plot of American Horror Story. The government makes a secret deal with beings from the sky. The aliens give humans advanced technology to build a modern world. In exchange, the aliens get to abduct humans to breed an alien-human hybrid species. This is the exact same story. These beings are actually the fallen. This offers a completely different explanation for all of this. This means the elites in Begonia and American Horror Story are being led by beings from another dimension. Now, when you dive into the history of some of the most influential mystics and powerful secretive groups, you start to find this exact same story come up. One of the most interesting things I found while doing research into all of this was its connection to the influential British mystic Aleister Crowley. He claimed to have communicated with a cosmic god who telepathically fed him the teachings of his religion. During a series of ceremonies in New York, known as the Elemantra working, Crowley claimed to contact an entity named Lamb. He sketched a portrait of this being, titled The Way, featuring a massive, bald head and slit-like eyes. The drawing was first published in 1919. As you can see, it looks like the typical depiction of an alien we find in media. Crowley must have gotten this concept from these depictions, right? Well, that is impossible because this archetype for the gray alien was not created until the 1950s and 60s. It was not depicted in movies until the 1970s. Crowley drew this picture first and referred to it as a god who taught him forbidden knowledge that he then used to create a secret religion. Now think about it. This is the exact same entity they depict as an alien in media. Do you think that's a coincidence, or are they telling us something much deeper? In fact, many of these secretive mystical organizations claim to have gotten their teachings directly from these fallen deities. There is a legend about George Washington, who was a member of the most influential secret organization in American history.
Yo, I'm also going to talk about this in the next video. Y'all stay tuned for the next video. We're going to be reacting to Candace Owens breaking down NASA. That one I have actually watched, and I want to do a little bit explaining on this channel, because the foundation of America, all of this, literally the foundation of America is demonic. What pushed America, I'll say this, what pushed America to become as great as it is, if you know anything about history, one of the biggest things that pushed America forward was the space race. The space races was completely demonic, just straight off the charts demonic. And we're going to be exposing NASA and all that stuff. Kind of sucks, man, because I used to be wanting to work for NASA as a child. I used to want to construct rockets and stuff like that and explore space more and stuff like that. But truthfully, the origins and the root of NASA is just straight up demonic. I mean, it's when you do your research, it's bad, bro.
Being guided by otherworldly beings who show them the future.
But the thing is, they're like, it's not that deep. But the people that are founding these things make it that deep. So how can we say it's not that deep when the people that found these things, like NASA, are making it that deep themselves? So in my opinion, I just don't. Even as a non-believer, I don't get how you can say it's not that deep. I genuinely don't. I don't get it because they thought it was that deep when they founded it, and obviously there. I mean, there was literally indications, right, of there's publishing, right, of writings from these people like Jack Rogers and stuff like that, writing about how they did demonic things in order to get knowledge. They literally say it themselves. The rocket that he did, I think it's jet propulsion. Jet propulsion. Okay, we'll get into that in the next video. Let's go.
The legend claims that during the brutal winter at Valley Forge in 1777, Washington went into the woods and was visited by a spirit in white who showed them a vision of the nation's future.
What?
Many people that believe in this story suggest Washington was approached by a deity from another planet, or was it from another dimension? We even see stories like this from brilliant minds in rocket science. Jack Parsons.
Bro, am I like just tapped? Oh, it's Jack Parsons. I'm sorry. I said Jack Rogers, I think. Bro, am I just tapped into the spirit, bro? Bro, everything that I'm saying, I swear, y'all, I have not watched this video. I will put the hand on the Bible, but I'm not gonna swear on God and stuff like that. I promise y'all, I have not watched this video, bro. It's just, I'm just tapped in, bro. The spirit of God moves, and that's why I'm telling y'all the things. Bro, it's literally leading into everything that I'm saying, bro. If you're spirit led, you watching this, you probably feel the spirit of God, and you understand what I'm saying to be true. I always tell people, don't confirm by me, right? Go to your word. And then when you go to your word and you feel like you can't find something, you don't have the answer, guess who you can go to? You can still go to the source. I feel like a lot of people forget that. It's like, we'd be like, oh, it's in the Bible. Go to the Bible. Go to the Bible. Yeah, go to the Bible. Okay. And when you go to the Bible, you can't find what you're looking for. Guess who you can go to? You can still go to the Father. What is the helper for? To give you knowledge, right? That's what he does. But how can you have knowledge if you don't know him? And I just want to leave y'all with that. You know what I'm saying? This is what this channel is about. It's not just about exposure. It's about transformation. We're trying to take back the media realm and make it something better than it is. We're not trying to take away media. We're trying to make media something better, something for our kids to watch, for our future generations to be able to turn on the TV and not have to worry about if they're putting a spirit over their life or not. You know what I mean? That's the goal. That's the goal here. That's what it's all about. So I'm gonna keep exposing, man. That's what I'm gonna do.
Is credited for inventing the first rocket engine to use a castable composite rocket propellant and pioneered the advancement of both liquid fuel and solid fuel rockets. He also just so happens to be a devoted follower of the infamous British mystic. In fact, they even shared a relationship as Jack became the leader of the California branch of his secret religion.
Jack had something to do with Crowley too.
Jack himself claims to have seen these beings from another dimension who guided him in developing the...
Bro, this dude tried to create a moon child, bro. We're gonna get into that next video. I'm actually glad that's a perfect sequence. Honestly, I might record that video today in order to get
technology. Again, introducing the idea of this advanced technology coming directly from beings from another dimension.
This is crazy.
When you put the pieces together, things start to make a lot of sense. Hollywood keeps telling us this exact same story over and over again. The alien stories we see today match up perfectly with those ancient records. Movies like Begonia shows us how the media protects the people in charge. In the movie, the second you start asking questions, they call you a crazy conspiracy theorist.
Facts.
Films like this push us to look past what we are told and ask real questions about who actually holds the power. This movie reminded me so much of They Live. In that movie, we see the same concept. The elites are secretly beings from another world. They show us exactly how these beings trap us to use us for our resources. I actually recently covered this movie, so if you want to see what They Live reveals about the elite, watch this video right now.
Isn't this crazy,
for those who want to further support the channel, check out...
Isn't this crazy, y'all, that they literally put this in our face, but we're so blind and oblivious. We're so stuck in our own world, bro. And that's what I was talking to somebody about the other day. We're so stuck in our own little bubble that we can't see nothing outside of what we try to live in. As long as it doesn't affect me, it doesn't matter. That's the mindset that Americans have. And that is the craziest mindset I've ever had in my life. Or people I've ever seen in my life. I'm sorry. It's crazy. If it affects them, it affects you eventually. Later down the line, it's going to affect you, regardless if you believe that or not. It's going to hit your generations. And so this stuff is important. And they're putting it in your face and they're telling you. So the real question is, ask yourself, what do you do? And it's stuff like this. You don't have to start a YouTube channel. You don't have to, but recreate the narrative, bro. We need y'all. We need the people that are directors, producers, you know, Christians, you know, people that are just good people too. We need you to rewrite the media that they're trying to put in our face. We need y'all. This is what we're here to do, is to make change, bro. Right? And then I pray that even along that path of change that you begin to change. If you're not a Christian, right? You watching this, you're like, okay, I'm not a Christian. But somewhere along the line, you might find, you know, that path, that righteousness that you're searching for. So that's literally it for this video, y'all. I be forgetting to switch into this mode, but that's literally it for this video. If you stayed this far, you might as well hit that subscribe button. I ain't gonna beg for no subscribers. I'm here to expose, so it's gonna get out eventually, right? So if y'all stay this long, hit that subscribe button, man, and then stay tuned for the next video. We getting into NASA, bro. Bro, it's gonna get real. Anyway, we out. Let's get it.